So we're continuing our theme of winter scenes, winter night scenes, and I don't believe we've worked together with a black canvas before. My memory might not be remembering that correctly, but I like working on a black background because it just makes the colors pop off of it a little bit more, I think. And so the supplies that we need is we need a little palette plate. I've got a couple of different we are working with acrylic paints. I've got some lighter green, kind of a yellow green, a bright green, a yellow, an off-white, and then a white. And I should have a black as well, which I will grab while I'm letting my background dry. You also need a bowl of water, a bigger paintbrush, and then a couple of small ones, and a piece of paper toweling. So we have just a kind of a simple composition here, but we can think about things like balance and color as we are putting together our elements. So I'm going to show you how to do a little different technique than what we've tried before. And instead of, we are going to use the palette for the black paint, but instead of using the palette, make sure you have your paints shaken. Okay. So, we're going to put a little dot in the center of color. And then I'm going to do a yellow. You can use whatever color combinations you want. Another little dot. These are like pea size, okay? And what we're going to end up doing is mixing these on the canvas itself. So yours will not come out the same as mine. And then we need the darker. And you know, on these that are going to cover more space, I think I'm going to put some down here as well, just to make sure we got that covered. I think we'll be fine with the. All right, so we've got this. And then we want to wet our brush, and then we just want it to be damp. And we're going to be painting an oval shape. Okay, so we're going to start in the center, and we're going to be moving our paint around. And we're going to be getting wider and wider and wider. And if we have to add some more paint, we can do that as well. Now the paint's pretty thick, so we want to make sure that we are kind of going over the edges. And I'm going to add a little more. I didn't mean to say edges. I'm concentrating on my painting. I meant to say ridges. And you can keep blending this as you go. And we want this to eventually go all the way out to the edges. And I did mean to say that this time. You can go back over this. We do have some. See how beautifully these blend together with this technique? some more green here. Oops, I got a little bit of dried paint there. Okay, we're going to bring these down just a little bit more. Okay, so I don't really like how that goes out a little bit further, but not to worry, because when we get out the black paint, after this is dry, I can go over it with the black paint and hide that part that I don't like. Now I'm going to just kind of try to get rid of some of the brush strokes, kind of go over it. Don't get too fussy with this, but all right, so now you can get your hair dryers out or just let it dry naturally. And we'll come back and start working on the trees once this is dry. Okay, my paint is dry, and I decided to be real clever. And since the trees, the part that I didn't like up here, I thought, well, I can just turn it around, and the trees that I paint over here will cover that up. So, like I said, you cannot make a mistake in art. Anyway, okay, so our next step is I found my black paint, and we're going to be using that to paint our trees. And so we do need to put it out on our palette. And we're going to use a skinnier brush that we want to wet. And if you want to, you can do use a pencil. It might be a little hard to see on the black, but we're going to do 3 trees, because 3 is, you know, a nice number. Gives us a lot of balance. And so I need to get just a little more water so this flows off my brush a little bit better. This is some thick black paint. And when we're doing line work, we want it to flow a little bit better. Okay, so this one's going to be the tallest one. And then this one over here is going to be nearly to the edge, a little bit of space. and is going to not be as tall. So we're just sort of mapping out our composition here. And then we're going to, again, we want a variation in height. And then we're going to do one over here that's a smaller one. It's like a little mini tree. Okay. Okay, so once you've got those placed, you want to make them wider. Evergreen trunks aren't too thick. And we want to make them a little bit wider down at the bottom. Oops, this one went off a little bit, so I'm going to have to fix that up. Go. And we do want them to get a little bit wider down at the bottom. So just work it out until you like what you see. They don't have to be a straight line because trunks are not straight. They're gnarly. Okay, so now we're going to start working on the branches. And we're going to do this tree first because it's going to end up being behind, okay? And so we're going to we can do our branches out this way. Again, we're just kind of blocking these out. They get a little bit smaller as they go up. Till we get to the very top, okay? And then we're going to give sort of the illusion of the pine needles. And they're too going to get skinnier as they go out. So I'm just making little scribbles with my brush. And some of it can be a little bit, go out a little bit wider. When you need to, get some water on, more water on your brush. I think I'm going to put another branch there. Like I said, you can kind of play along with it. On that one, I was getting a little too much water, so I'm going to let that dry a little bit and then go over it again with a little drier brush. Okay, so now we're going to do next larger tree. So we'll start by doing the branches. Start getting a little bit shorter as we go up the tree. Okay, so then we'll use the same technique, and these can come out a little bit further out because it's closer to us, so we're going to see more of it, and it will be bigger, right? And you can paint just right over the tree that we first did. Because it's standing closer to us. Okay, there's number 2. And so we just have our little one. Okay, so when you're done, you might want to go back and make sure you're happy with how the trunks and the trees look. Take a look at it. Okay, so now if you want, you can put some snow on here, or you can also, you can also do what we did last week and just paint some circles with the end of our paintbrush. And you want to start up at the top and just do these kind of randomly so that it looks like we've got some snow coming down. And see again how these colors really show up again easily against the white background, the black background, which again is one of the reasons why I really like working on black canvas. Now, if you want to put some snow on some of the limbs, you just do little black, I don't know why I keep saying black, little white dots really close together on some of the branches. You can kind of make it look like it's piling up a little bit. Yeah, I like how that looks. Again, you don't want things to be just in a line, because that's not how nature rolls. Be careful about getting your arm or your hand in the paint. Okay, so again, hold it up so you can see it. Yeah, I kind of like that, except up there it looks like I've got two eyes, a nose, and a mouth, so I don't like that. That looked weird. There we go. That looks better. Okay, so now you just need to let it dry, and you've got yourself a nice winter painting. Hope you enjoyed it.